Let's be so for real. We've all felt this before. We've all been far off track in our fitness journey at some point, even not close to the track. Been there, but recovered from it. So how did I do that? So my first piece of advice for you would be to actually expect that you are going to fall off your fitness journey, fall off track, fall off your diet at some point, because that's normal and that's part of the cycle of life. But what's important here is, yes, expecting to fall off track, being mentally prepared for it, but also having a plan to recover from that. Having expectations that are higher than what you are able to achieve always set you up for disappointment. However, doing the opposite, expecting that you will be falling off track at some point and having a plan for that is actually gonna set you up for the opposite. It's gonna set you up for the opposite of disappointment. I can't think of the word that's actually the opposite of disappointment. I'm gonna Google it and remember it for after I film this video, but you know what I mean. And because you're expecting to fall off track and you're not gonna get disappointed by that and you're gonna have a plan to fall back to recover, the outcome is gonna be less severe. Fitness and diet aren't a linear progress. It's gonna go up and down. You're gonna have some plateaus. You're gonna feel throughout some point that everything is still the same and nothing is progressing, and that's to be expected and that's completely normal. It's never gonna be an upline going upwards and upwards and upwards. That's not human. So as far as the plan to recover goes, I would say a few things are really, really helpful to get back on track and get back at the level that you were aspiring to be at. One thing you could do with having a plan to fall back on is telling someone, having a friend to hold you accountable, whether it's in person, whether it's someone you know at the gym, whether it's virtually a long distance friend. Telling someone to hold you accountable will actually make you recover and get back on track a little bit faster. The second thing I want to point out to having a plan to fall back on when things go off track is looking at the positives, looking at the positive outcome. Even in a negative situation, just focusing on the positive and kind of taking the negatives away and throwing them out of the window. Ever since I started looking at life in a more positive outlook, even stuff that bothers me, stuff that would usually make me sad or angry, looking at the positive part of it and kind of flipping the picture around it, my mindset shifted. So let's put this in a way where it kind of makes sense with having a plan to fall back on when you're off track. I'm gonna create a scenario where I'm taking myself as an example. I was working out for 3 months consistently. I was 30 pounds heavier. I've lost a lot of weight, but all of a sudden I fell off track. I haven't been going to the gym. I've been extremely busy at work. Work's been fatiguing me. Life at home isn't that nice. And now I'm always giving myself excuses to why I can't continue, to why I can't start again, to why I can't go back on track. Negatives, negatives, negatives. See how in this scenario we're just focusing on the negatives. Work is taking over my day. I don't have enough time. Negative and negative. Let's now flip this all in a positive way. Work was extremely busy today and it took over a lot of my time, but I actually am grateful that I actually have a job that pays my bills and that I got to talk to my coworkers today and that I wasn't all alone and isolated. And because we're flipping this into a positive scenario now, yes, work took over a lot of my day, but now I have my evening to work out and I can go back to the gym after work. I can rearrange my schedule in a way that it works better for me. Maybe working out after work isn't good for my regular routine. Maybe I should be working out in the morning before work. How do we flip this negative situation to make it positive and make it work for our advantage? As they do say, the grass is always greener on the other side. Or is it? All in your head. If you don't hold yourself accountable or don't have anyone around you to hold you accountable and you're always blaming yourself and blaming the circumstances around you, you're never gonna be in the right mindset to start again and get back on track. And I actually do have personal experience with that. When I mentioned earlier the example about me being 30 pounds heavier than I am now, that is a true story. I was actually 30 pounds heavier a couple of years ago and I got in the mindset where I wanted to work on myself and actually feel better, feel more athletic, have better endurance, feel stronger, and feel good about the way that I look. In my head, I couldn't fall off track because I didn't want to be that miserable person that I was when I was 30 pounds heavier. Yes, it affected me very negatively. It affected my mental health and I wasn't a happy person back then. I was looking at things very negatively and I wanted to get away from that mindset. And to me, being on track with fitness and getting to a place where I am determined to get into better shape and feel better about myself was actually a goal to work towards that made me see the positives in everything around me. Instead of saying, I'm too tired to go work out today, switch it around. Instead of focusing on the intensity that you're too tired to work out, the physicality of it, focus on the mindset shift to just showing up, just being there, whether it was for like 2 minutes or 10 minutes. You still showed up. You still put in some effort. Yes, you were too tired, but the intensity doesn't have to be big. You just have to show up to actually build the habit of continuing on with it and not falling off track. Building the habit and setting the habit as part of your routine is what's gonna get you back on track. We all feel tired throughout the day before we go to workouts. Focus on the reward that comes after. How do you feel after you work out usually? Do you feel happier? Do you feel more energetic? Do you feel stronger? Do you feel like you are ready to take on the world? View movement as an energizer. Be grateful for it. You get to move your body every day. Not everyone gets to move their body. And I'm not saying all of this to dismiss the importance of rest and recovery. Rest and recovery is still really important. So if you are feeling really fatigued to the levels that you cannot work out, that you cannot put yourself out there and show up, that's fine. Remember that rest is also productive. Covering your muscles is also productive and important. With this mindset shift, you're focusing more so on consistency rather than perfection and always having a great perfect workout, but showing up and being there is what matters. It's also important to remember when you're trying to get back on track after falling off for a really long time that it's good to start slow. It's important to show up just for like 5 minutes and then build on this consistently. Sometimes starting back on track and getting back into the works of it fails because you're starting off too ambitious, too strong, a little bit more than you can handle at the time, which again, we're going back to the first thing that I've said. This is setting up ourselves for disappointment because you think that you can take on that load, but then eventually you can't. And that's where you get sad and you remain off track instead of getting back on it. So having smaller goals that are a bit more attainable, that are not going to disappoint you, is really important when getting back on track. Focus more on how it feels versus the result. Completely different things. With fitness, we all know, and with nutrition as well, we all know that results aren't instantaneous. You're not gonna see 30 pounds off the scale the next day. It takes time. That's why you need to focus on the feeling, about how it makes you feel, about how energized you are, about how ready you are to take on the next day, about how stronger you feel. It's the feeling that counts more. I hope that you guys were able to take in bits and pieces from this video, learn a little bit from turning your life around and looking at the positive outcome in order to get back on track with your fitness and nutrition journey. This is a newer style video for myself, so I'm here to take all constructive criticism. So let me know in the comments if there's anything I should change, anything that you like that I should do more of. I forgot to introduce myself at the start of this video, but hi, my name is Mar. If you're new here, I post wellness, fitness, and lifestyle content. I used to be a beauty creator. Being a beauty creator drained me. Consumerism took over my life, and I hate that so much that I'm switching over to the wellness and fitness realm of things because that's my actual lifestyle. I work out twice a day. I'm a long distance runner. I run half marathons. That's my favorite distance to run, and I'm weightlifting at the gym 3 times a week usually. I'm also gonna start yoga school in a couple of months. I'm gonna become a certified yoga instructor, and I love moving my body so much, and I want to share this joy for movement with the world around me. This gets us to the end of this video, so if you enjoyed it, please thumbs up this video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!